Alrighty, what's up guys, welcome back to a new video in East Coast Manga. So today, we're doing another review, and like I mentioned in probably my last review, I don't do a whole lot of these, so if I do one of these, it usually means that I really enjoyed this manga, or it's a newer manga, and I want to kind of leave my impression on it. This is a little bit of both, so for this review, we have Blue Period Volume 1, as well as Volume 2. So this manga right here is, technically I would call it a painting manga, of course, but it has more elements to it than just painting. If this was just painting, I probably wouldn't be that interested in it. Now, painting and art have never really been a huge interest to me because I just don't have a lot of artistic talent. I've never really been able to draw that well, and I think some of us are probably in that same frame of mind as, like, you know, growing up and you see some of these kids where, you know, they didn't take any classes, they're just naturally gifted at drawing, and I think that's kind of deters a lot of us from, you know, pursuing and trying to learn how to draw than just, you know, having this God-given talent. Our main character, Yatora, I believe that's how his name's pronounced, he is interesting. So he's kind of this, I don't want to call him a delinquent, but he kind of hangs out with these standard Japanese delinquents, and he's kind of, his appearance is similar to that, at least people in the art club assume that. And he's someone who never really had a desire to pursue art. He has, like, perfect grades. He hangs out with his friends. His friends are kind of, like I said, they're kind of delinquents. They're kind of just whatever. They don't have the best grades. And I believe the story starts off with him in second year of high school, so like a sophomore. Although it could be freshman, I don't remember exactly. And we see him and his friends in this art class where, like, the art class is basically a joke. Art's not a joke in the manga, but this art class is. It's one of those, you know, classes where you can either draw or you can just hang out with friends and do basically whatever. So he kind of does that. He leaves a pack of cigarettes in the classroom, which he then has to go back and get it, but there's an art club at the end of school, so he goes in, sees the art club. He sees this beautiful oil painting, this huge oil painting, which is made by one of the older students. I think she's a junior at that time, maybe a junior or senior. And it's just this beautiful piece of work, and he just becomes kind of engrossed in it. And so basically Volume 1 is about him joining this art club, and there's a lot of, you know, he's not like the typical art student, so there's some boundaries he has to break. It's kind of, it starts off as kind of a typical story, if you read a lot of manga. But as it goes on, first off, you learn a lot about painting and, like, different styles and different techniques and stuff like that, which to some people, like, that may sound boring to you, and if it does, but the rest of the story sounds interesting as I get into it, you don't have to pay attention to that stuff. That's basically for the people who are really into art, because he's having to learn all this stuff, and he is naturally talented. He starts off by drawing this scene when him and his friends were leaving a bar. It's just like this city scene. He was obsessed with it. He really liked it, so he ended up drawing it. But as the plot develops a little more, he kind of decides, so there's this university called TUA, and it has a very difficult art program to get into. I think only 50 or like 30 art students end up making it in the oil painting section, and you can tell he's kind of one of those people where, yes, he does like art, but I think he also enjoys a challenge, and he's kind of already accomplished everything that he has wanted to in high school, so he takes on this very difficult challenge to try to get into this school. And as the story has progressed so far, it has been a lot of him trying to, you know, trial and error. You're introduced to some other characters. There's really interesting character who we're introduced to after he starts taking some, basically he pays for lessons at this, like, other school, like this private school, and it's taught in these classrooms. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but you know, you guys, I'll show you a panel or something like that. And we're introduced to this really interesting character, who I believe his name is Yatora, and he ends up drawing this, like, really nice painting, and it's this challenge because he's essentially competing with everyone around him, and with him, you know, starting his either freshman or sophomore year of high school, it progresses pretty quickly, actually. I think by the end of Volume 2, he's a junior already, so his third year of high school. And I think one of the big reasons why I like this manga is because it's not just a happy-go-lucky slice of life, just chill, like whatever. Personally, I think I'd probably get bored by that. That's just me. I mean, I know maybe there's other manga that are more similar to that, which might suit some other people, but This is interesting because it is very chill and, you know, kind of relaxing to read, but then there's also this edge and this element of like, well, he's got to compete with these people, he has to be able to get this spot, and he has to quickly progress enough to be able to essentially catch up to other people. Personally, I'm really enjoying the story. There's some pretty interesting side characters. There's not a whole lot of side dialogue, but there's enough to where it's pretty interesting. I like his teacher. There's only 2 volumes out right now. I would personally recommend getting into it. This was a recommendation from both Jake the Pog, and then We Do Be Collecting Manga also recommended me this when we were in Discord, and it didn't seem like a manga that I would have really said, oh wow, like I would have thought you guys would be interested in this, because I didn't think I was going to be interested in this. But I do actually highly recommend this if you're, you know, looking to get into something that's not in the shonen battle or seinen dark manga tree. Personally, I've been looking to branch out a little bit. Now, I don't want to branch out too far into things that I don't actually enjoy, because that's just like, I'm not going to force myself to read things. But I thought this was actually really, really nice to be able to, you know, branch out into something that I don't have other manga like this. Well, I do have one series, which you guys are going to see a review of at some point, actually. But, you know, other than that, I like my darker manga, so sometimes I don't explore as much as I should, and if you guys want to explore a little bit, I highly recommend checking this manga out. That's going to be it for my review, though. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this, you know, maybe motivated some of you guys to go and check out this manga. If you have already read this, whether it's volume 1 or 2, leave it down in the comments. Let me know what you guys are thinking of it so far, because I am always curious about feedback on manga. And with that, I will catch you guys later. Peace out.